This is One on One.
Welcome back. My next guest is keeping the Montclair area fueled by donuts and many other delicious pastries. She's Rachel Wyman, owner and head baker at Montclair Bread Company. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Montclair Bread Company, for anyone who lives in the area, is a staple, really. It's a place where you go and you indulge however many days a week you want to, right? That's how I define it. How do you define it?
Probably the same.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a place for treats, but then you can also get your daily bread there too, so balance.
How did you get your start in this company? And in bread, really, in baking?
My grandmother was a wedding cake baker. And so when I was little, I would decorate paper plates while she was decorating a fancy wedding cake. And that was, you know, before I could write my name with a pencil, I could write my name with a bag of buttercream.
Important skills to have.
Exactly. So I was always around it. And then I went to college and I baked cookies and brownies and sold them to local coffee shops to pay my rent.
Very entrepreneurial of you.
Yeah, and I was, you know, traditional college. I was hoping to be a teacher, but then when I got out, I realized that I really wanted to pursue the baking a little bit more. And the first class that I took at the Culinary Institute of America was a bread baking class, and I kind of fell in love with it.
What is it about bread for you? What is it about the process?
So I kind of thought I would go into the wedding cake thing too, but with the breads, I discovered quickly that when you're baking, you can be a part of the community every day. So you're baking the bread for people's families for breakfast, for the lunchbox, for the, you know, accompaniment for dinner. So you can really be a part of the community through this rather than just one special occasion.
What does being a part of the community mean to you? Because you have really integrated yourself into this Montclair community.
Yeah, I think just to having a welcoming place for people to stop by, you know, it's great if they buy something, but just to know that the door is always open and there's always a friendly face, I think is really important. And I have 3 kids, and so
how old are they?
They are 6, 8, and 9. So having a place for them to be and kind of understand business and understand baking, but also meet people and, you know, help to solidify that is great too.
How do you manage that? Because baking requires early mornings, right?
Mm-hmm.
Having a bake shop requires those early mornings. How do you manage all of it with, you know, being a mom? How does that work for you?
I have a lot of help. The kids have a wonderful nanny that takes care of them early in the morning, but I haven't been on the 3 a.m. shift for a little while. I have an incredible team of bakers that have been trained to make everything at the bakery now so that I can come in a little bit later. So I do school drop-offs part of the week and get up early the other half of the week, and you know, and then they spend a lot of time at the bakery. My kids get up really early too. So
future bakers in training.
Yeah.
So you were recently on the cooking channel's Doughnut Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
You won.
I did.
Talk about that experience. And you said you went up against some true donut makers.
I did, and at the time I had very little experience making donuts. I was never trained to make donuts. We kind of just fell into it because we wanted to eat them one day, so right. It wasn't part of the original plan.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly,
right?
And the donuts came into the business 6 months after I opened. It was all about bread in the beginning, and it still is. Donuts are just fried bread.
Right.
So, but being on the show, the people that I was up against were trained to make donuts, and I'm just frying brioche dough. And it was, I think the thing that I liked the most about it was just getting to spend the time with them off camera and really understand more about the process of making donuts. So,
how does a person work in a donut shop, for lack of a better term, and maintain health? Because you clearly are committed to health, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
So I, for a long time, and still I have a 2 donut a day habit. I have to have a glazed donut and an apple cider donut every day.
Every day, that's your routine,
okay. And then, after my 3rd was born, I struggled to keep the weight off. After, I had 3 kids pretty close together, so I was probably 65 pounds over my normal healthy weight, and I didn't want to stop eating donuts. So I started running. I noticed that a lot of our customers on Sundays, we used to only make donuts on Sundays, and now they're 7 days a week. But in the beginning, it was only Sundays. And the large majority of the people coming in to buy the donuts were runners, because you go for a long run on Sundays, and then you can indulge in whatever you want.
Absolutely.
So
you started some races,
Yeah.
right, together with these runners in the community, fueled by Doughnuts. Tell us about it.
So we started out with a 4K fun run to commemorate 4,000 likes on our Facebook page, and we had 125 people sign up to run with us in 2 weeks.
Wow.
I've never had run a mile myself before then, and that was my first 2-point-some miles and change.
I'm getting the sense you're an ambitious person.
Yeah.
When you do something, you go full throttle.
Right. Well, I did it, and I thought, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. So then I signed up for a half marathon, because that's what you do after you run 2 miles, right?
Right.
So, and then the following year in December, we hosted our first 5K. My friend Gina Emperato helped me organize it, and we had 750 people sign up in 10 weeks to a sold-out event. And we noticed that the majority of the people signing up were our customers and not runners. And so we wanted to keep them involved in the running community, and that's why we created the Fueled by Doughnuts Running Club, was to really give people a place that they knew they could come and have someone to run with, no matter how far they were running or how fast or slow they were running. They'd always have a friend. Yeah.
And now you're running races, and you're donating to local charities and organizations. Talk about some of them that you're giving back to.
So last year's 5K raised $29,000 for the Covenant House of Newark, New Jersey, and we've really partnered with them, and they help get teens off the streets. And one of the ways they do that is by creating running groups for their kids too. So we get to have the kids from the Covenant House come and run in our race, and then give back to them through the sponsors we've been able to raise money from.
You are a strong woman. You're an entrepreneur. You're making a difference in the community. What advice would you give to someone quickly who is starting out and wants to make a difference?
I guess hold on tight.
Yeah.
And don't get used to your pillow, because you don't get much sleep.
Yeah, I hear that. Rachel Wyman, owner and head baker of Montclair Bread Company, you really are making a difference and making it taste good along the way. Thank you so much.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato in your neighborhood Montclair has been provided by the Russell Berry Foundation, RWJ Barnabas Health, Fedway Associates, the Fidelco Group, Caldwell University, Suez, and by Adler Aphasia Center. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.